Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your relationship coach, Andrew Spama, coming all the way from South Africa, right here in Pretoria, Tshwane. And I want to take this time to welcome Lesotho in the house. Let me also welcome Botswana, Zambia. Let's welcome Zimbabwe, Mozambique. Let's welcome Angola, Botswana. Are you in the house? All right, let's welcome the United Kingdom. Let's welcome America. Let's welcome China. Let's welcome Australia. All right, all over the world, wherever you are welcome. This is your brother, Andrew Spama. Allow me today, as we're going to be talking about grief or loss that happens in our lives. We are living in most challenging times of our lives where we really experience, losses that come in different ways, But one of the common losses that we have experienced now recently is the loss due to death of our loved ones, especially in relation to the coronavirus pandemic that we are facing. Please, as you enter the space, indicate very much. Thank you very much, Mpomo Setla and Sandrambambo. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We appreciate you. So we are talking about loss, right? Now, the loss can come in different phases. Loss can come, as I already said, because of death. Loss can come as a result of your child, your son, your daughter getting married, and they have to leave and go somewhere, and get to have someone in your life. Though that one may not be that intense, but also that is a loss. Loss also can become when you are going through divorce or through separation, where you are separating with someone that you loved and appreciated. There also you can experience loss. And then loss also can come when someone moves from one country to another. That can result in loss. So we are going to address that, and then we make sure that we prepare you as our viewers, as our supporters, to understand what is happening in your life as you are experiencing loss, or you have lost someone that you love. So I want to encourage you, wherever you are, please share this video. Type there and tag your friend that you feel that they will benefit from this clip, so that we can work with them, that they can also benefit from this video tonight. So please tag your friend, invite your friend. Let us talk about loss. Let us talk about the pain that is associated with loss, so that we can together walk this journey. Right. As I've already explained, that loss come in different ways. When we go through loss, we grieve. In the process where you are feeling the pain, where you question yourself, where you go through a lot of things, as you are asking yourself, how am I going to live without this person? How will life be without this person? And let me tell you, friends, that it takes time to heal. Some, it can be a quick thing; they can come out of it and they're able to move on. Some, it takes time for them to really come in terms with what has happened. And there are also other things that are important. That is why we are encouraged not to keep grudges. We are encouraged, to make sure that we live at peace with all men, especially those that are close to us, those that we have formed relationship, because there is nothing as painful and as hurting to lose someone that you did not make right with, or someone that you were holding a grudge against, or you lose someone after a fight, and then there are those of us when something tells you that call Andrew today, something keeps on bugging you for the whole week, saying that call your mother, call your sister, and you're still saying that I will do it and I'll do it, because most of the time we find ourselves procrastinating important events. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, in the time that we are living in, that when someone is dropped in your heart and you feel like you need to call them, you need to check on them, please do that. Don't postpone it. Don't say that I will do it tomorrow, because tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. All right. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the times that we are living in, that you really take, opportunity. When a thought comes for you to call someone, when a thought comes for you to interact with someone, use the opportunity, because tomorrow is guaranteed to no one. All right. Do good now. When a thought comes that you should do good, all right, Joshua, that you should do good, please don't postpone it. Do it while you still got chance, because tomorrow is guaranteed to no one. All right. And some of us, we are in pain of loss because of the advices that we used to get from certain people that were very close to us, and today they are no more. And it's not easy for us to be able to deal with this thing, to be able to come to terms with the loss that person that you used to be close to, is no more. And this thing, ladies and gentlemen, is so important, because there are some people that might not even be in your circle. Some are just celebrities. Some are people that you have seen on TV. Some are people that you used to listen to. But you find that when you are told that they are no more, you feel the pain, even though the person was not close to you. You feel that really something is cut. You feel the pain. I mean, I remember when I heard about the passing away of Dr. Tibani. I was not that close to him, but I knew him. So it really hurt me. I felt the pain, So that is the pain. I mean, when I look at a person like Israel Musetla that I used to speak to often, and when I heard about his passing, it was so painful. And what was also painful was that I could not even attend his funeral. And that is also the other thing that also challenges us in the time that we are living in, is that certain people that we were close to, people that were meant a lot in our lives, that we cannot even go and bid them farewell. There are certain things that we take for granted, like going to someone's funeral, attending someone's funeral. By attending someone's funeral, you are able to bring closure, especially that someone that is close to you, someone that you used to live with. So it is important that you come to that level where you are able to see them off. You will remember that in South Africa, there was a process that the government engaged in, where they went to countries like Angola, Zambia, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, where they went to look for the graves of those that were killed, in order to help the families that lost their loved ones to have that closure. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, that in the midst of loss, we are able to bury our loved ones. We are able to go through the process, because it can leave us with anger. It can leave us with question marks. All right. Now quickly go with me as we are going to discuss the 5 stages of grief. The 5 stages of grief. Now, these stages, you cannot say that I'm going to go through number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Then I am done. All right? Because no, they come, and the time frame for each stage is different. It's not like you will have a particular stage that, okay, I'll go through stage 1 for a year, and then I'll go each stage is 6 months. Then I'll know that within 5 years I will be done with the stages. There are those people that are able to deal with grief or with loss, and they are done and they are able to move on. But there are those that it is hard for them to move on. And in my talk also, I will be helping you to understand or how to make sure that you are able to move on in your life. There's something that maybe I should address, that some of us, as especially Christians, we don't understand. You know, there are some times where you just want to go to the graveside and just go to the graveside where your loved one is sleeping, not to go and pray to them, but just to go there and say, wow, Mama, you are here, Papa, you are here. You know, I miss you. Just to say, I miss you. All right? Because indeed, the person is sleeping, the person is no more, they cannot talk back to you, you cannot interact with them. But that closure, because of what you are feeling in your heart, you can go. And that is why I always say that when I conduct funerals, that it is important that after we have done everything, we have buried, you don't, as a family, just walk off, just rush to the hearse and to the family cars and you are gone. Take time to go to the grave and just see where the person is laid. That is also a process, part of healing through after death. Now, let's go to the stages of grief. The stages, number 1 is that when you have lost your loved one, you get this shock that you are in denial. All right, you are in denial when someone that you have loved and you have been with for many years tell you that it is over, they are filing for divorce. You get shocked. You are in denial. It cannot be. I've been with you for so many years. How can you leave me? When a mother that has sacrificed all her life, when a father that has always seen the daughter as the child that they've nursed, and now all of a sudden the daughter comes and say, Papa, I want to get married. The father gets that shock, and then from there they are in denial. All right, and then in that, when we are in denial, either of when we have lost someone that we love, either of divorce, either of we are in denial of a loss or a child who wants to get married, we become emotional, and as we become emotional, we show that pain. We show the emotional, because when we are angry, when we show anger, who is this boy who wants to take my daughter? You are still a child. You cannot get married. But how can this be? It can't be. He cannot leave me. He cannot. I don't want divorce. And you start to fight. You show anger. All those emotions that you show, some we get angry with God, some we are asking ourselves, but how can God, we get angry? That is now where we are in denial. We are trying to express our emotions, all right? We are trying to express our emotions about how we are feeling. And it is hard to believe that we have lost someone that we loved. It is hard to believe that, someone that you loved and you have given your life, you have given this person children, and all of a sudden they tell you that it is over. It is not easy to accept. That's why even in the midst of divorce, there can be a lot of fights. In the midst of death, you find that someone is just running amok, and you ask, but what is happening? Because they are in denial. They are shocked. It cannot be. All right. And then, especially even in the time of death, in the times that we are living in. Because one of the things that you will realize about COVID-19 is that, this week you are with someone, you are talking, you are seeing their status, they are posting, everything looks well. And you may find that someone is busy posting and they are sleeping right in a hospital bed. They are still talking, they are still posting, they're posting negative, positive messages, and they are posting their pictures, and then you're thinking that the person is well, they are recovering, and then all of a sudden they tell you that the person is no more. That becomes a shock, and as it becomes a shock, you say, no, it cannot be. It can't be Andrew. It cannot be so and so. I was just with the person. It cannot be. No, don't tell me that. Someone that comes and tell you that they want to divorce you, it cannot be. I've given my life to you. Wow, it cannot be. When a child comes to you and say that they are going to get married, said it cannot be, because in your mind you are still seeing a child. In your mind you are still seeing your boy, you are still seeing your girl, and as such it becomes not easy. There's that sense of denial, and it evokes within you the emotions of anger, the emotions of rage. Someone can take a cup and throw it away. Someone can tear off their clothes in disbelief. It's denial. It cannot be. Look, it's the process that you are going through. You are still normal, just that you are going through the process of denial. It is painful. It cannot be. My wife just lost one of her colleagues, and I could see she was in pain, and she was like, it cannot be. I remember this person we spoke. Then all the memories, the things that you used to do together comes back. And then now, the other thing that also becomes, very hard, especially when you're holding a grudge or when you fought with the person, and when they tell you that the person is no more, and you become even more frustrated because you cannot even say, I'm sorry. All right? That is why it's important that you do not let the sun go down holding a grudge, because it will eat you, especially if something was to happen to that person. All right? So it is important, because all these things, when they tell you that the person is no more, all the memories come, everything comes, and then from there it affects you. All right? And then stage number 2, another stage, let me not give it numbers, but give them just stages. All right, another stage, which are 5 stages, another stage is the stage of anger. And anger allows us to express our emotions with less fear. All right, anger in the midst of grief or in the midst of loss, it gives us that room to express our fear, to express those emotions. And as we are angry, we tend to say, but it can be. We are angry with God, we are angry with the system, we are angry with everything. There are some that are angry, they are blaming the devil, some are blaming the witches, some are blaming their neighbors. You are looking for someone that you could just find that they've done something. And this is, we have seen even more amongst us as black people, that when someone has passed on, we become a little bit better when we find out who has done this, and then when we can find someone that we can put the blame on, we become now easy. But it's not a right way to deal with the loss. If someone who may be thinking that maybe your spouse is saying that they are divorcing, then you are able to blame their girlfriend, the person that they've been cheating with. And when you pass the blame and you feel a little bit better, you are angry with that person and you feel that they've done that, they're the one that have caused the loss. So it comes in different. A father whose daughter is getting married can get angry with the mother to say that, yeah, you are the one that is pushing this child. And that can also cause even more problems within the home. All right. So the first emotion you feel after the loss is the emotions of anger, is the emotions of denial, is the emotions that of disbelief that it has happened. And and when you are angry, when you show the emotions of anger, it can make people to withdraw from you. It can make people to withdraw from you. And as people withdraw from you, you can easily go to the situation where you are feeling lonely. But people find that they are also struggling to deal with you because of your anger. All right. So it is very much important, ladies and gentlemen, that we understand that once we have faced the loss, we will go through denial. We will go through anger. Another emotion that we are to face is the bargaining emotions, where you bargain. When a person is sick and you are seeing them, getting sick and their health is deteriorating, when the marriage is going through hard times and you are seeing that things are bad in this marriage, you start to bargain. Some of us, we start to pray to God that, God, if you can save my marriage, I will save you. Others, we have prayed and bargained with God, and some we are also praying that, God, if you can save my mother, if you can save my brother, if you can save my father, I will serve you with all my heart. That is the stage where you are bargaining, and you are trying by all means to say that, Lord, maybe let's give her a chance. Maybe she will change her mind. She will not want to get married. Maybe will not want to get married because And some of us in the beginning, we start to do things that are a little bit funny, as we are trying to deal with the loss that is coming. And then now we focus on some of us, after the loss, as we bargain, we start to think about the personal facts and regrets, things that we regret. If I could have done this, maybe because of the sin that I committed many years ago, maybe God is punishing me. And some we accept, we tell, okay, this is my punishment. God is punishing me. That is why I'm going through these things. And as you feel that is a punishment and you deserve it, you feel a little bit better, but you always live under condemnation. All right. Then in the bargaining, we also find that we are facing regret due to the disconnection, or things that we should have said and we did not say, things that we should have done and we did not do. That is why some of us, after the death of our loved ones, especially some of us that have neglected our parents, you find that during the funeral, we spend a lot of money, loss of resources, because some of us, we are feeling guilty that we neglected our parents while they were still alive. And now all of a sudden they are gone. We want to buy roses. We want to buy flowers that we have never bought for them while they are still alive, because we are bargaining. We are trying to say that wherever you are sleeping, please, I want you to sleep at peace, but I don't want you to trouble me, because now we are feeling guilty, and then we start to bargain. And then the other point is that when everything is there, you start to think about it. You start to think about the person, the memories, and you're thinking yourself, but how am I going to live without this person? How is life going to be without this person? And then from there, this thing can get into your mind, and as it gets into your mind, you start thinking about it, and the more you think about it, the more you feel hopeless, the more you feel like you are defeated. You more you ask yourself, what is life worth? And you question life and everything, and that is now the stage of depression. All right, because the loss has become real now. You're asking yourself, all of a sudden, when you never even paid for water and lights, you don't know even where is some of the documents, you don't even know how to fix the cars. A person was doing everything for you, and now they are gone, and the reality sink in. That happens also even during divorce, because if you have given this spouse that was there doing everything for you, and all of a sudden they are no more, then it can lead to depression, especially when you think about things that they could have done for you and they cannot do anymore, and you can't do them yourself. That can lead to the situation where you are depressed. All right. And then, in the midst of feeling those feelings, you tend to look more deep inside. You tend to start now thinking a lot. And as you think a lot, some of you start to find ways to cope. Some of you find that now you become dependent on sleeping tablets. Some of you find that you start to say, let me take some whiskey or some wine in order for me to drown this, then I can fall asleep. The problem with such kind of coping mechanism, in the long run, you become dependent on them. And even when the situation is no more, but you continue with them, they end up destroying your own life in a long run. All right? The other thing that is also important, in the stage of depression, that is where you start, to withdraw from people. You start to retract from people. You no longer want to associate with certain people, which sometimes can be understandable because, you find that there are certain situations, certain friends that were your friends because of your spouse that is no more. And you don't even know how you are going to associate with them. So that can also lead you to be less sociable. So it is important that for us, those that are around people who have lost their loved ones, either through death, through divorce, or any other, we need to come close to them, even though sometimes they may look like they are rejecting us. But we need to pursue, not pushy, but assure the person that you are there for them. There are some of us that, we just need to go and take them out for a drink. We just need to go and have some time with them in their own house. Maybe you cook a meal, you go and visit the person and you just sit, not talk a lot of things, but allow them just to open up, because that will also help in the healing after the loss. And then the last point, when you're dealing with grief, is when you come to the stage where you are able to accept that it has happened. All right? Then when you have reached the stage of acceptance, it is where you are no longer resisting the reality of your situation, where you are no longer resisting that the person is no more, where you are no longer resisting that, I am divorced and I have to just find my way to live around it. You are no longer struggling to make it or to make something different, where you are able now to interact with other people. You are able also, to say that I can go on a date after divorce. You start to live your life. You start to enjoy certain things. You start to make a living. You start to make life. You go for hiking. You go for running. You start to interact with people. And then, but it does not mean that sadness and regret is no longer there when you have reached the stage of acceptance. But it is regret and sadness is there, but it's still there. But it's no longer a stage of grief. It's no longer denial. It's no longer bargaining or anger. You are now able to live with your loss. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, that in this time that we are living in, we support one another. We are there for one another. Hey, people in church, stop labeling people because they've lost their loved ones, especially in churches where thou now, because the woman has lost their husband, now all the ladies are feeling that now that woman is now a devil that is going to snatch their husband. That is really wrong. We condemn such kind of behavior by all means. And there are those that are in churches, when people have gone through divorce, now we label them and we see them as wet sinners. It does not work that way. Who are you to judge? So let us learn to accept those that have gone through hard times in their lives. Let us create an environment where they feel at home, where they can still be part of us, even though they have lost someone important in their lives, let us not reject them. Let us not look down on them. And with those words, ladies and gentlemen, let us know that grief is real. We are going through it. It comes in different ways. It can come when you have lost a car, right? Even losing a car, losing your pet, it comes, any kind of loss can lead to grief. And it all take all these stages. You go through denial, you go through anger, you go through bargaining, you go through depression, and then you are able to accept what has happened. Thank you very much for taking your time to be with me tonight. May God bless you. Let us meet next week as we discuss another important topic. Those that are in Matoks and surrounding areas, let us meet at Botlokwa Community Radio Station tomorrow at 11:25 in the morning. Let us meet at Botlokwa Community Radio, and let us also meet at Radio Bob tomorrow around 4 o'clock at Radio Bob. And then also we are looking forward to the meeting with the Radio TUTFM. Thank you very much for your continuous love and support. God bless you. Let us support one another as we go through this pandemic. Indeed, this too shall pass and we shall conquer. God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye.